Fresh Squeeze Noise Eurorack Patch 5. So usual setup, I have my ABCs going to the output mixer. I have my Circadian Rhythm clock feeding the Tempi. I did set up a couple samples on the Grandpa. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of the outputs of Circadian Rhythm and feed them to the trigger inputs of Grandpa. I'm in 64 view mode, so we're going to add a couple of hits here for each. And then I'm going to take the output of Grandpa and go into the Dub Junior, and then we'll just take that straight out to the mixer. Then I'm going to take my Circadian Rhythm out and go into the trigger 1 of Peaks. And then I'm going to take the output of that and go straight into the mixer as well. I'm going to use this as a kick drum. I'm going to take one of the Tempi outs and give it to the hi-hat trigger in and send that to the mixer as well. I'm going to slow that down. I'm going to take one of the outputs of Circadian Rhythm and go into the snare trigger. And then I'm going to take the output of that and go into the reverb in. And I'm going to take that out and go to the mixer. So I'm going to take one of the Tempi outs and then go into the clock in of the micro sequence. Then I'm going to take the pitch out of that and go into the 1 volt per octave of Braids. I'm going to take the output of that and go into clouds. And the output of that, I'm going to go right into the mixer. And I'm going to find a sound that I like. So now I'm going to run the sequence, and then I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to take one of the outputs of the Tempi and go into the trigger input of Maths. I'm going to take the output of that and go into the timbre modulation of Braids. I'm going to take the output of this LFO and go into the frequency mod input of Braids. I'm going to take one more of the Circadian Rhythm outputs and go into the trigger input on the open hats of hi-hat, and then go to the output from there. Actually, I'm going to take that output and send it into the other input of Braids and send the output of that to the other mixer. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below, and see you next time.